universe is really nagging me to get back out and start speaking again. There has been a lot of new subscribers on the channel, and I'm wondering if it's because of the John Teeter information. There's so many similarities within the information that we are seeing in our world today. If you're also here to learn how to access time, that is part of my role and part of the things that I like to share with others as a different perspective and how it works. Your mindset has to shift from a position, first off, that you have a relationship with the world. And what that means is the mindset is that you're not on something, you're actually in something. So if we're in something, right, you can't see it, but you can feel it. The air, when you move your hand around, you feel something, but you can't see what it is that you're feeling. That is the environment that we're in. We can actually use that environment for transmission, for connection, to bridge things. Okay, this is the technology in which we learn that is associated to time travel, which I try to share with you. So with that process, your body is actually that transistor, right? The movement and the changing of that energy. It may be important to consider participating in the world we can see, which is evidence-based, or life in performance, and to recognize and consider the world we cannot see. Compassion, love in performance. And then we are the in-between, the agent of change. The concepts that I like to teach is how to harmonize with that. How do you harmonize with your body systems? And time is one aspect. There are many more. There are many more aspects, but I just want to focus on time because it's relevant because of the transitional twilight that we're in right now from the so-called age of Pisces to the so-called age of Aquarius, right? Like the great fall of man that we hear so much about, it was when the age of Aries collapsed. And we hear about Atlantis and Tartaria and all these things. And we hear about these stories of the ancients, right? Who built these beautiful temples all over the world, a global civilization in the age of Aries. And then the great fall happened from the first house to the 12th house, right? This is the story that we have of humanity. And that 12th house is the age of Pisces. And we went through the age of Pisces with the religions. And, what do we believe in? After all that, what do we believe in? And we have to rebuild. And now we're in the age of Aquarius. And it's one of the aspects that is important to understand because you are in a relationship. You are building this in time, and how it works within the body is past, present, and future is the foundational principles of time, right? This is the Trinity itself. Within the past, present, and future Trinity, we place them as an organizational structure within our bodies, so we harmonize with time in order to travel, right? So past is based off the element of air. I remember when. The past is fixed as well. So we can aim and retrieve it with a tool called memory. Also, if you want to convert the element of air, which is the past, into a future, because it has that capabilities, it has that dynamism as well, is you can use a tool called imagination, and you can access the future. So that is in the mind, okay? The element of air. The past is different than the present. The present is in the heart, okay? And that is the element of fire, the moment itself, the ever-present now. The heart is what matters most in the world. This is how the world presents itself, is through this process. The color is green, and when you look around at the plants and that's harmonizing with this energy, you'll see it's green. And your right and your left is the electromagnetic components to how the energy moves. And it uses the technology of love, right? This is, again, why we built this the way it's built, is through that rainbow bridge of love. Okay, I know it sounds cheesy, but that is the one word that best describes how the transmission itself works, how life is produced from that. That's the present in the heart, in the Trinity. So that's how we organize it. So navigating from the heart, and it will keep you in the now, in the present, and it can be a peaceful place. And also remember, this is how you access war and Renaissance. And there will always be both together in this system. So where you position yourself within that, navigate with that, with your ever-present now, with your heart, the moment. Be conscious and aware. But the present is not the future. So how do you access the future in time travel? This is where a lot of people become really interested. They want to know about their future. Well, there's a lot of work that needs to be done first before that part is blossomed and open, right? It has to be opened. It's not just one thing. Your future is not just one thing. It's many, many things. So where you put your attention matters. So you access the future through your gut. Okay? That is like another brain. You feel. And the thing about the future is it's not fixed like the past, where you know exactly where you left it and you can retrieve it again. I know that stove is hot when I touch it, right? I've learned this in the past. It mutates and morphs, coalesces and dissolves like water. And then the present is like just, where are you, where am I, in location, all that stuff. And then, but the future, you can connect to your future self. If you are there, if you are present, if you are aware, if you are conscious, if you are aware in your future, that transmission can come to you. You can access that. So be kind to yourself now, so that way your future self is in a better position to be healthy and wealthy enough to send signals back to you to let you know everything's going to be okay. You're going to make the right choices. We're going to make sure we're working together on this kind of thing. I don't know, however you want to organize it. You get to decide. That's the part that you play. Everybody uses these systems in the way that they feel most comfortable. Okay? So we're just telling you a methodology of how best to connect to these concepts. So, because once we have this organizational system in place, guess what? Now we have access. It's been granted because we're doing it with permission, not aggression. And we're doing it in a harmonious way with our environment. The mindset becomes more refined and defined of how we like to organize it. And we use these words and these terms to label these systems. Okay? Because these systems are important later on in our future when we have what's called programmable matter. And so we need to be able to boil down our concepts into these systems of trinities and things like that, because we're going to be collecting energy and producing energy out of these. So that's why the meditation plates in which you see on this channel are valuable, because it's the foundational principles of how you build a hyperdimensional construct for programmable matter. You can maneuver and change the words because the words produce an energy, a sound, a wave. It's a production. So you maneuver them in a way to like a combination lock, if you will, to what feels natural and best for you. And it will do different things for you, right? But be careful, because you can use them as weapons and as instruments and tools. So the reason why these meditation plates were presented in the way they were here now is to give the amount of power and force to goodness and happiness and kindness, compassion and care and evidence. And these concepts were built first, because this is why these meditation plates are important, to build these concepts first, because that's where the source the transmission comes from is from these places of love. And if they come from a place of love, then life can flourish. And it can do so in its natural way.